Hey, welcome to my channel, Cooking with Manual Focus, and today we're gonna make an absolutely delicious French onion soup. Now, I know that may sound intimidating to you, but let me show you just how simple it is, and I got you in the game. So without further ado, let's focus on this recipe and make this French onion soup. Now, fam, the ingredients will be in the description box below. So we're starting off with 4 onions. So let's address this. Now, we got an onion. Now, I know people hate cutting onions because what ends up happening, you start crying. Now, here's a tip, fam. This end right here, the root end, this is where you have the highest concentrated sulfuric compound. So when you cut this and then you start cutting at this root end, this is where the highest amount of the sulfuric compounds that's gonna make you cry. So cut it on the opposite end, you'll minimize that effect, and I got you in the game. Hey, and if you appreciate that tip, hey, leave me a thumbs up and we're gonna get this onion prepared. So like I said, we're gonna take this end, not the root end. We're gonna take that back end, cut it, and then we'll just make a little side cut on this onion like here, and then we'll peel the outside layer back like that. And then, fam, that's an easy way to peel your onion, and then you in the game to slice this bad boy up. So what we're gonna do is just cut our onion now into slices. I got 4 onions to do. We're gonna caramelize these onions. We're gonna be working on like a medium heat, right? We don't wanna like overdo it and burn these onions. We just wanna caramelize them, right? So I'm gonna get these 4 onions ready to go, and we'll see you guys at the stove. All right, fam, we're gonna be working over medium heat, and we're going in with 3/4 of a stick of butter or 6 tablespoons of butter. So as this butter melts, like I said, we're gonna add our onions and we're gonna go to work. And if you like, you can cut this recipe in half. I'm just craving it, and I got 5 mouths to feed, so we like, you know, a good soup. We like to eat, so cut it in half if you don't want, you know, the whole entire thing that I'm making, and you'll still be in the game. Now, fam, these onions are gonna cook down. Hey, you want to stir these, you know, every couple minutes or so. Get them moved around so you can get them softened. So I'm gonna add a couple pinches of sugar to these onions. It's gonna bring out some flavors. And we're not gonna be using wine for this recipe here, so we'll still have some great flavors, because I'm gonna show you how to build this. And like I said, we're gonna let these cook, simmer down, and then caramelize, and we'll be in the game. So every 5 minutes or so, you wanna get in here and you wanna stir these onions around. Fam, as we let these cook, I'm gonna put a lid on this. It's gonna help render these down. And then about every 5 minutes, like I said, we're gonna come back, stir these up, just to make sure that all those onions get contact and we get that nice caramelization that we're looking for. All right, so we're about 10 minutes in to caramelizing these onions, and as you see here, they're worked down a little bit, so we still got a little ways to go. All right, fam, so we're about 25 minutes in. As you can see, we're starting to get some browning on the onions. This may take a little bit longer than, you know, the suggested times, right? So it all depends on like what you're using, the cookware that you're using, because you could be using like a cast iron, you could be using stainless steel like I'm using, or you could use non-stick, and they all cook differently, right? So here's the key, fam. Have fun, adjust on the fly, and then learn as you go, and you'll be in the game, fam. Now, fam, we're about 30 minutes into this, and as you can see right here, you got some fun building at the bottom of the pan, but you know the acidity of these onions, you can pick that fun up and then build that flavor. Like, pick that up with those onions, and as they caramelize, I mean, you're gonna be developing some great flavor, man. So that's just a tip when you're making the soup. And I'm gonna tell you, hey, don't rush this recipe. You rush it, you're gonna mess it up. You take your time, it's gonna come out right. We're almost there. We just want a deeper color, more of a chocolate color. And if you made gumbo before, hey, you know the color that you're looking for. And I'm gonna tell you, if you never made it, hey, look at this card right here that's on your screen. Click that for some delicious shrimp and sausage gumbo, fam. All right, fam, so we're about 45 minutes in, and I'm gonna let you see this pan right here. Okay, so we're looking pretty good, and I'm gonna stop. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reduce my heat at this time. I think we got a good color on these onions. So I'm gonna reduce my heat to like a low heat for now because I'm gonna add some garlic in. So I got about 4 cloves of garlic, and we're gonna mince that, and we're gonna add them to this pot. And we're gonna let this garlic cook a little bit. And the reason why I reduce my heat because I don't want to burn this garlic, but I just want to get some flavor in it. So when this garlic becomes fragrant, we're gonna let this start smelling good, about a minute or so. And then when that garlic becomes fragrant, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of flour, and this is gonna thicken that soup. And we want to cook that flour taste out, so we'll cook this for a couple minutes, and then we'll start adding in our broth and seasonings. Alright fam, so we let that cook for a couple minutes. Now we're going to start adding in our beef broth. We're going in with 64 ounces of beef broth, and we want to let this come to a simmer, and we're going to let this, you know, simmer up. But what I want to do is I'm going to add a little bit, and then I'm gonna deglaze the bottom of this pan. And then fam, this recipe right here is without wine. If you want to use wine, you know, like a dry white wine or sherry or something like that, you can. But you know, we're not gonna use that with this recipe. We're just going in with the basic ingredients and keeping it simple, keeping it easy for you. And now fam, you're gonna know how to make an absolutely delicious pot of French onion soup. And as you can see right here, that pan is glazed right. We in the game. Now we can add the rest of our beef broth. Like I said, we're going in with 64 ounces of beef broth, and then we'll add in our seasonings. And we're gonna add a little bit of W sauce, which is Worcestershire sauce. Going in with 2 bay leaves, and make sure you take those out before you eat this soup. Now I'm gonna hold off on the salt, but we're gonna add some freshly ground pepper till your hand gets tired. And the reason why I'm holding off on the salt is because, again, we built some flavors with the onion and caramelizing those, and then that beef broth has a bunch of sodium in it. And again, fam, I'm gonna tell you this, you salt the taste right. So as your fam, you're serving this to your fam, you don't want something overly salty, so they can add more salt if they like. But I'm gonna tell you fam, you're gonna have enough salt. Again, with that beef broth, it got a bunch of sodium in it, so you'll be in the game. Hey, we'll give this a little stir, and we're gonna let this come up to a simmer. And look at that right there. You got a nice, rich color, and we're well on our way of making an absolutely delicious French onion soup. All right, we're gonna put that lid on there, and we're gonna let this bad boy simmer. All right, fam, I got me some Gruyere cheese, and we're in the final stages of this recipe. And we're gonna take this Gruyere cheese, we're gonna grate it. It's gonna be a nice, get enough to go on top, right? And it's gonna be absolutely delicious, fam. All right, fam, here we go. Hey, we've been letting this bad boy simmer for a little minute. Hey, check this out. Hey, we want to go ahead and remove that bay leaf. Like so, you don't want to eat that, right? Hey fam, your house should be smelling absolutely delicious. Now what you want is like an oven safe bowl, right? So I got me one right here, and we're gonna place that in the oven. But what we want to do, fam, is we want to get us a ladle, and then we're gonna get that soup off in that bowl. Fam, that smells absolutely delicious. Yes sir. And then, hey, I got my French bread right there. So fam, I'm gonna be working on this bacon rack, and then we're gonna put that Gruyere cheese on top, because we're gonna place this in the oven and let this bad boy broil. And I'm gonna fix a couple more of these, And fam, doesn't that look absolutely amazing? Now we got this last one. Get that cheese sprinkled on top. Like I said, we're gonna throw this in the broiler. In the oven, we're gonna place it on broil, and we're gonna let this get nice and golden. Come back out, fam. Hey, we're gonna be in the game. All right, fam, there you have it. You got your absolutely delicious French onion soup. Look at that with that broiled cheese, Gruyere cheese on top. And you know we gotta get it to taste this. And this bowl a little bit hot. But look at this right here. I'm gonna bring it up to you. Yes, sir. Got that melted cheese. Yes, sir. Those caramelized onions. Hey, cheers. Now that is absolutely delicious, fam. Go back in for another bite of that. Those onions. Now that's cooked right. Now, if you're new to the channel and you like this content, go ahead, smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to smash that like and share this with your family and friends. Now, for the folks family that's been rolling me for a while, you already know what I gotta do. I gotta smash into this French onion soup, and we'll see you guys on the next recipe. Peace.